Good morning, good morning. Just woke up not too long ago in deep thought. Actually, I'm lying. I woke up from a call from my mother. Um, this is gonna be a deep rant video. I just need to get my thoughts out, and I do this. I was actually just telling my sister that it's good to do this. And I'm gonna show her this video because it's good therapy for me. She always she likes to talk about, get her thoughts out, which is more toxic for her, but I guess sometimes it can be therapeutic if you can teach somebody something, or it can also help you to follow your train of thought. Sometimes we think in our head a million thoughts, and we very seldom get them out. And but I do want to get them out today. I want to make a video really quick just to see if I can help somebody. Also to see if I can, uh, just basically follow my train of thought, in regards to a particular subject. But recently, not I mentioned, I got a call from my mother. I didn't answer the phone. Um, Recently, I stopped talking to my mother, and it's kind of weird to say that out loud, you know, uh, and there's a very specific reason why I did, or there's not, well, it is a specific reason, but it was a straw that broke the camel's back, and I kind of want to get it out. I kind of want to, as I said, just kind of explain, not necessarily to anybody else, but just to myself, or just kind of, as I said, this video could possibly help somebody else who may be feeling the same way. In any community, we have this in this, I say any culture, I should say, we have this stigma that, well, I want to say specifically, like I said, I don't know other cultures really. I would say, in the black culture, we have this stigma where we view our parents as, being very sacred, in the black community, especially mothers. We just based on where I was raised, I'm raised in, born in the late 70s, raised in the 80s, 42 years old. So, um, I'm just kind of, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get too deep off into that, but like I said, I stopped talking to my mother. And the reason why is because her energy, she's a very narcissistic person. And, narcissist people, they just beat on you, beat on you, beat on you, beat on you until you conform to, their way of thinking. They have to be in total control over you. They're not very empathetic people. They are, they lack emotion. They lack empathy. They lack so many things, that the average person would need. And imagine, having a person who is a narcissist being your mother. So I told you that recently I stopped talking to my mother. My dad just passed away 2 months ago. December 12th he passed, or 3 months ago, going on 3 months. So imagine this is a tough time for me, and I kind of wanted to, people who, I try to explain to multiple people I talk to, people close to me understand, but I want to kind of get it out, that way I kind of, want to explain it, and that way, if somebody asks, I can just give them this video and say, hey, go look at the video, so that I will have to explain it again. But recently I lost my pops. I was close to my pops, not saying that it was like that always, but within the last, I want to say 15, 16 years, been pretty close to him. I knew all his information. Like I said, he was my pops. Like, I had keys to his house. We were close. And I don't want to get too far in this. I don't want to cry or get emotional, but we're pretty close. So when he left, it was pretty painful for me. I was going through a lot. And you would think that, during this time, the person that, would be, you know, there for you the most would be your mother or your other parent. So I'm just going to get it all the way out there, and we have the stigma sometimes. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to tell our family secrets and stuff that, you know, that happened. But, I'm going to tell you. So my father, he had money in his checking account or his savings account. Me and him had a discussion a long time ago. He told me that if anything should happen to me, you know, make sure you take everything that I have. Told me, make sure you took everything that I have and separate it equally amongst your siblings. Um, Separate it equally amongst your siblings. That's what he told me. And I said, him and my sister were not getting along at the time. And I said, what about Sean? And he's like, that's still my child, right? I said, yeah. He said, make sure she get her equal share. I said, okay. I said, what about my mother? Now, him and my mother, they've been divorced. Well, they're not divorced at all. That's the premise of, why I don't talk to my mother. But I'll go into that. But they don't talk to each other. They were separated. They weren't legally separated. They just separated. They were still legally married. Um, Legally married, and the reason why he decided to say legally married to her is because his dad passed when he was 10, but he said his father always told him never to leave your family. So I guess he felt some guilt, in regards to that, and felt some responsibility to her to, make sure she was taken care of. Now, he worked for the railroad for 42 years, so he got a pension. So when he retired, he got, his pension, but his spouse also gets 50% of her pension. So she was getting 50% of what he got. So she was taken care of, on that aspect. And then if he passed away, she was going to get 100%, or what they call widower's benefit for the railroad. So she got that. So she was going to get what he is currently getting, which is a decent amount of money for today's money, So she's going to be taken care of. So I asked him, what about her? And he said, your mom is going to be taken care of. Don't worry about her. The railroad is going to take care of her. She's going to have enough. She's going to be fine. But just take what I have and separate it amongst my kids. So promised him I would do that. So when you got somebody like that, and that was the thing that, he told me to do, and it hurts, that I can't do that. I wasn't able to do that, and that was the thing he told me to do. So it kind of hurts, and I said again, I don't want to get emotional, but it hurts that I wasn't able to do that. So, and the reason why I wasn't able to do that is because the same reason why a lot of stuff in my life, I can't sit and I won't sit and blame anybody. These are choices that I made, even though, I felt like I was manipulated, throughout the process, but that's a whole nother video. But, when I say manipulated is, I was manipulated by love that I have. It was used against me, in a lot of ways for my mother, and as I said, being that she was his heir, or his surviving spouse, she basically had control over everything. Now, here's the tripped out part is that she had control over it. She didn't know anything. She knew a little something, but she didn't know anything. She didn't know anything of what he had in his account, anything like that. And I said, she knew as well as I knew that he would never give her all of his money. He just would not. She knows, as I said, anybody who knows him knows that she would never do that. So as I said, it wasn't about the money for me. But the thing was, it was something that he told me to do. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to be able to do that, as a last thing or last part of my father's energy. I wanted to be able to do things exactly the way he said it to be done. Me and my brother, we took initiative, and like I said, we had to bury him. I had to pay out of my pocket. My brother had to pay out of his pocket to, make sure, my father was put away, fine. My mother didn't lift a finger really to do any of that stuff. She just, told she want, she wants every. Like I said, let me just say this, and I'm not gonna go into full detail. I'm already 10 minutes in already, just to kind of get that was basically the backdrop of the situation. But at the end of the day, this is, like I said, it was probably the worst part of my life, having to do this. And I wish, just advice to people, if you have loved ones, you have kids, and they got to put you away, eventually we all die. We don't know when, you know what I'm saying? But, like what Scarface say, when your numbers call, you punch in the clock. So when your numbers call, you punch in the clock. So make sure that everything is taken care of. I know it might be a morbid thing to do, but plan your own funeral. Plan it. Get it together. Buy some plots if you want to. Set aside. If you got insurance, that's great. But set aside. A will, so they know exactly what's going on. Your family knows exactly what's happening. That way, and tell them. If you're older, put one of your children on your bank accounts. You don't have to give them any of the information. Get their information and make sure they're okay, and make sure you put them on your checking or savings account. That way, if something happens, there is no probate. Especially if you trust them, make sure they all know what should happen. Hey, if this has happened, I'm giving my oldest son, permission over my bank accounts where they can go in and they're gonna separate the money, equally amongst y'all. You know what I'm saying? That way, there is no disputes. He told me that, and I don't know why I was thinking that I'm gonna put me on this account, but as I said, it just never happened. So, long story short, she had control over everything. Basically, these people were just married, in name only. He lived a separate life for over 20 years, from her. He had a girlfriend, everything, and like I said, it was just so basically what happened was she made this whole process 5 times harder than it had to be. Like I said, not only did I not get any support from her, I had to do all this stuff on my own. My aunt, helped out tremendously. My brothers, my aunts, they helped tremendously, with the process. But like I said, this is a nightmare situation where you have to bury your parent, and then the other parent is a narcissist who thinks everything belongs to her. So she's trying to take everything. She thinks everything is hers after 20 years of not being with somebody. This is all mine. I'm the spouse. I'm supposed to get. She just worried about herself the whole time. So this level of selfishness, but this is who she is. So getting into that, and I said this is the straw that broke the camel's back, and I say all that to give you the backdrop of the magnitude of the things that I had to cope with or I had to deal with during the time. So I'm hurting. I'm in pain. As I said, and it's still fresh because it says it's only been 3 months. So I'm still dealing with it, still grieving, still going through, from time to time, just, sometimes you have a thought and it's, you just break down into for me, it's a build up. I'm good. I'm a naturally energetic, happy person, so I try to stay positive most days. And, sometimes you just build up, and then something happens, you just trigger, waterworks. But anyway, try to keep it together. So, as I said, with this whole scenario, this whole situation, over the last, I would say, 15 years, this woman, she's always been a narcissist, but imagine, being programmed by a narcissist. And she's been programming me pretty much my whole life, and my sister, but this is a good thing about me is that I think I did have my father's genes. And I always, it's funny, we were both Virgos. We never argue. We always, I got a lot of his ways. I wasn't she wasn't a single parent, up until a certain, point they broke up. But as I said, he was always there. So I said, I learned a lot of things. And one of the things I did learn is, as a man, you can't learn from a woman. You you can't learn to be a man from a woman. There are certain things she can teach you, but you're gonna have to go out and experience the world for yourself. And what I did at a certain point, when they kind of broke up, and I understand he had to go off and do his thing for his own sanity, and I don't blame him 100%. I sought out a lot of male figures, positive male role models and figures, and read books and different things on things that men should learn. And one of those things is you always have to experience things for yourself. Never, you always, you use your common sense. Where you see somebody a certain way and they're giving you advice, if they're a certain way, you can't take advice from a person who has not done something to themselves. If they're telling you, hey, this is how you be successful, and they're not successful, why would I listen to you? It makes no sense. You can only give me your level of success. So I'm off subject, but as I said, her whole life she's been telling me things and trying to control me, and I've always gone little by little in the opposite direction. So eventually, as I got to be an adult, I went out. I said I had to leave her house. She's so negative all the time, fussing all the time. As you get older, your patience wears thin. My pops used to always tell me that as you get older, man, your patience is gonna go thin. So as I said, just over time, she's gotten worse and worse every single year. And every single year she gets worse. And it's like, as an adult, I remember one time in my adult life, where she just sat down and gave me a hug. Just sat down, just like, hey son, and gave me a hug. She showed me love. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I guess I've been wanting my entire adult life, where you and I do, and I'm not even bragging. I think as a son, I did so much for this lady that I did not have to do. They say when you grow up and what's the saying? I can't think of it. They said raise your kids, raise them up in a way that they should go, and then you let them go. For her, it was all about her life. It was all about her life. Everything was about her. It wasn't about me. I had to steal my little corner of life, but it's like a tree and a root. You can't stop a root from growing. If you come a roadblock, it's gonna go around. It's gonna go through. Either way. So through the pain and everything I try to achieve, this lady would knock me. I'll probably be a lot further along, especially in my hungry years, when you're young, when you're ambitious. Everything you want to go home and tell to your and here's another jewel. As a parent, you can be the most impoverished parent ever. That's why you see all these successful athletes, they always praise their parents. You can be the most impoverished parent only, but your word, that's why God said in the beginning, it was the word. Words are powerful. You can speak life into your children. You can speak, you should always want your children to be better than you. You should always want them to be better than you. That's your life. At the end of the day, that's human nature. You grow on from your children. That's how you move on from your kids. You should want your kids to be okay when you're gone. You shouldn't want them to be just as impoverished as you. You should always give them encouragement when they achieve something. Encourage them to seek greater heights, because it's tough. It's already tough not knowing, going into new things, not knowing. So it's scary. But sometimes we jump with the encouragement of somebody telling us to. And what I mean by that is, like these athletes, like Kevin Durant. I always give Kevin Durant a good example, because he said, I was out there doing this. My mother was always telling me, if you're going to be in the NBA, you better go to the gym. So she treated his practices like that's what he was supposed to be doing. Like, you're going to the league. This is what you said you want to do, right? This is what you said, right? You going to the gym. That's where you're going. You ain't gonna be out there. And she was doing that to keep him out of trouble. You know, little did he know, but in his mind, she was grooming him to be a successful athlete. She said, Kevin, you want to be in the NBA, right? You need to be in the gym shooting. What you doing? Yeah, talking to, she said she was talking to my brother. She would talk to me. She said, where Kevin at? Is he at the gym? That's what she was checking on him, making sure he was at the gym, not at home, not doing nothing. Hey, you need to go to the gym now. Like, I'm at work. You need to get, when I come home, you better went to the gym and did your free throws and whatever you supposed to. She was speaking life into him. She made this man believe in his mind that he was supposed to be a successful athlete, and just based on the law of attraction and success principles, this is what this man did. This is all he knew. This is what she programmed him to do. You know what I'm saying? So he grew up. He like, man, you the real MVP. You took care of us. You made sure that we had this, that, and the other. You made sure I was in the gym. He said, you made sure I was in the gym. Shoot. And she as I said, she was just trying to keep her son out of trouble. But in the beginning, she said, okay, basketball positive. He ain't hurt nobody. He going towards something positive. That ain't gonna hurt, even if he don't make the league. He got a discipline. He out of trouble. He alive. Let me go ahead and put this into my son and encourage him. I don't know what he gonna do, but I know he's my son. He can if he said he gonna do it. That's, hey, let me go ahead. But I say all this to say, if you're a parent, encourage your children to be successful. I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? My father always encouraged me because it's all he knew. As I said, he didn't have a father. His father left at 10. But he always encouraged me to work. That's one thing that me and my brothers and sisters always got. Work. Work, take care of yourself. You a man. Work. You got to work. You got to get your job, take care of yourself and your family. That's the one thing he always taught me. That's the only thing he knew. So he taught me that. I have that. You know what I'm saying? If that's one thing that my brother, we always argue, well, if that one thing our daddy taught us to do is we going to work. We going to go get us a job. We going to go, take care of ourselves. We always thinking ahead and how we going to take care of ourselves. And that's what he wanted for us. But my mother, on the other hand, she would always nag. So, long story short, as I grew, I was achieving things because I was ambitious. She would always, every time I'm a big energy person. So when you give somebody, the first person you want to come, when you achieve a goal, is you want to come tell your mother, your father. You want to go tell them, hey, I'm doing this. And I believe God blessed me the way he's blessed me is because, she was pulling me and he was trying to tell me, this is I'm the power. She not. I'm the power. So everything I would try to do, everything she would say was negative, I would do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? She would knock me down. Like, you think you getting the big heads because you doing this and this is what's going to happen. And this was how she was. Ever since I was, achieving, getting jobs and helping out, she would be. And like I said, I helped out a lot as a kid. I was trying to step in my father's shoes when I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? I tried to, help her, but she was always blaming him for her life. Blaming him for, he messed up my life. He messed up my all the time. You need to get up off your ass and go do something for yourself. Stop blaming people for your life. You know what I'm saying? And go do something. I was trying to encourage her to do that. So every time I would encourage her to do these things, she would knock me down. You think you did this. You think this. So as I said, I was trying to achieve something. So I would achieve something, and I'll never forget. Every time I would achieve something, I would come tell her. She'd be like, yeah, that's good, son. That's good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. But that's how that would be the energy. I'd be like, I'm excited. Like most people, when their kids achieve something, it's like they did it. Hey, that's great. I'm happy for you. You would brag. And narcissistic people, they always got to put up fronts. She would only brag when in competition. When people would say something about their kids, then she would be like, well, my son doing this, and this. But she didn't really mean that shit. She didn't really mean it. But she was just in competition, putting up a front for other people. But as I said, she would do those things. And but as I said, every time I achieved something, so after a while, I would achieve something. And I learned, by the way, early on as a 10-year-old, crazy, that not to trust her with certain things. I've always been a private person, and I learned later on in life that is a success principle, where if you learn something, if you're gonna do something, if you got goals, you keep that energy to yourself. Write those goals down, internalize those goals, and don't share them with anybody. Anybody, unless you got a spouse that y'all on the same page, y'all equally yoked, and you gonna feed off each other. You know what I'm saying? You gonna tell somebody your goal, and they gonna say, "Go do it." They gonna hold you accountable. What about that goal? Go get that goal. You know what I'm saying? You stick with people who got the same mindset. You harbor those things. You know what I'm saying? You keep them. And whenever I would tell somebody a goal, it would be already done. Hey man, I wanted to achieve this. Oh, you can't do that, this, that, and blah blah blah. Already did it. Shut them right up. Okay, oh, well, how you do that? That'd be the first thing they say. But people they gonna always tell. Another jewel. I always find that as I talk, I can teach people things. Another jewel. Never falter to the talent. Never falter to the limitations of others. Keep in mind, you're an individual. Jordan is Jordan. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of people that play in a league. You know what I'm saying? That play in a league, and I get excited because I love Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That play in a league, they wasn't Mike. They was scared of Mike. Mike was Mike. You know, most people say, I can hoop, I can do this. They ain't Mike. Mike did it he did it his way, like Frank would say. Frank Sinatra would say, he did it his way. You wasn't finna beat Mike. I don't care who you was. Them cats knew in their mind, like, I'm cold, but I ain't colder than Mike. Mike was on a different plane. Now, Mike believed that. Mike was a worker. He was a narcissist in regards to that. Mike didn't want you wasn't finna beat Mike. Kobe, you wasn't finna beat. Kobe had that dog. You ain't finna out free throw me. You know what I'm saying? Jason, what's his name? Played for the Bulls. Said he came in one day, he was working out. Kobe was in that shooting. Kobe saw him shooting. Kobe said, I'm gonna sit here and shoot. I'm gonna show this punk that you ain't finna outwork me. He went out, worked out, came back, saw Kobe was still shooting. Kobe went out, and they had a game. Kobe came to the game. And hold on one second. I done pulled out the plug. Kobe then came to the game and still dropped 40 after all this rigorous working out just to show Jason. I forget his name. I don't know, but just to show that dude that you can't outwork me. That's a mind. He playing mind games with these dudes even before they even play. You know what I'm saying? Showing you I'm a step above you. So I say all that to say, never short your limitations. What God gives you, if he shows it to you, if he shows you the level of success, and you feel it in your brain, I can get there, go get it. Period. There is nothing that anybody can tell you that you tell. Look at, why not? These people achieved it. Why not you? He put you. He says, give thanks for those things that you see, because it's now yours. You know, it's yours. You should be happy for them because it's your turn is coming. He allowed this to be into your world so you can see it. Okay, how I'm gonna do this? I'm gonna show it so you can see it. Where you can go. Okay, you can use your mind. Okay, how did this person achieve this? Let me go find out how they achieved it so I can go do it. That's what it is. You know, and you can do it even better than them if that's what you have in your mind. You know, the world is, humans are amazing people. You know, and like I said, we little G's, we gods here, on earth. So you can achieve so much. You can achieve so much if you just take your time and go for it. But back to, what I was saying originally. But she would always knock me down, so I would never tell her certain things. I stopped telling her things. When I would get promotions, like she would always, tell I got the big heads because I think I'm doing this, that, and the other. As I said, narcissists are very jealous, so she would be jealous of me. I would achieve things, and she would see me doing things, and she would always be jealous. I tell her how much money I would make, and she'd be jealous. So I was making at one point. She was the parent, and I was making more money than she was. As a 20-some-year-old kid. So she like, okay, like, so in her mind, she got to knock me down. She got to keep me humble, I guess, in her brain. But you supposed to encourage your children to be better than you. But she would never encourage me. She would always fight against me, and I would always go do it anyway. Because God always said, hey, man, I know she said that you can't do this, but do it anyway. Just to see. Okay, you said I'm going to fail. Let me just go fail. Why not? I would go over here and God would be like, here's success. Here you go. Here you go. Here's 5 promotions in 1 year. One year she was on me bad. And I said everything, as I said, this is the 1 year that taught me. Like she was on me. Every time I would achieve something or do something, I say, man, I would get another promotion. Company would shift. Hey, you got to go over here. I'm going to pay you more. Oh, okay. And I wouldn't tell her. But she was like, oh, you think, what you doing now? You doing? Nope. I'm doing something completely different. Got another promotion. I 5 in 1 year one time. That's what happened. And it was just like, and I kept asking. You ask the questions, God will give you the answers. I asked, why is he keep blessing me when everything she's saying is complete opposite? She keep telling me I'm a fall, and I ain't fail yet. I ain't fail. Every time she say I'm a fall, I'm looking, because this is God. You're on earth. Your parents are gods on earth. So everything she telling you that you can do, I'm rebellious in mine. I'm like, I'm not finna listen to this lady. She want me. Why do you want me to? And I would ask her that. Why do you want me to fail? Why do you keep telling me I'm a fail? Like, why do you keep? And I'm trying to understand it. Like, you get mad and then tell me I'm a fail. You get the big head, or it ain't gonna always be like that. Are you gonna fall and blah, blah, blah. Why do you want me to fall? You know what I'm saying? And it's just things that I just didn't understand, with her. And like I said, later I found out narcissism and how it is, but, it really didn't ring a bell until like last year sometime for me. And like I said, that's a long time to be, trying to love your mother and not receiving any. Not receiving any love, and it's something that I didn't understand. And I'm like, how can I do these so many things? Like I said, the stuff she's ridiculing me about, the stuff that I'm making money and she doing this, and I'm helping her. I'm still helping her. I'm still, paying, half her rent. I'm still paying for her car repairs and her insurance and her phone bills, and she giving me hell all the way. She everything that she can take from me, she took. Everything. And then they have this entitlement mind. Well, you owe me. You owe me this. You supposed to do this. You ain't supposed to do nothing. Another jewel. As a child, you ain't asked to be here. You never. I know it's sad. If you got a mother who tell you that garbage, she lying. You didn't ask to be here. You didn't even have to be here. You don't owe nobody nothing. God chose her for you to come through. She's supposed to teach you what she know. Like if you look at animals, they teach the young everything they know to survive. Then they like, get out of here. Go to another pride. Go get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Even the men, like the lions, you know what I'm saying? They like, nigga, you you know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? You don't belong here. Like you go get your own pride. Go find you a lioness out there and, start your own family. This mine over here. I ain't finna feed you. You ain't finna eat off our kills. Hey, you look like me. Hey, you strong like me. Hey, go. Peace out. This is what they this is what animals do. They kick their birds out the nest because they got other eggs coming. They know they're going to mate and lay some other eggs. I got some other kids I need to take care of. So you on your own. Don't come back. Go find another bird and go make you a nest. You know what I'm saying? So that's straight nature. Only in certain cultures, and I said it's predominantly in the black culture, that they teach their kids. They teach their kids to be. Hold on one second. They teach their kids that you're supposed to take care of you. Supposed to take care of me. I took care of you for all these years. You're supposed to take care of me. The black women, you know what I'm saying, programming, and I hate to be stereotypical, and it's not all black women. I'm gonna say that, but it's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. Majority of them, the community that we live in, they teach they men they ruin their sons. They ruin their sons. I forget, it's not an Oedipus complex is for the child, the son thinking that the mother is the girlfriend. I forget what the other, but it's in the same family. Where they feel like their son is their man. And that's wrong. That is wrong. You let these men be men. You find them role models. If you ain't got no man, find them some role models. And you teach them, son, when you get to be a certain age, you need to go out and find your own family. You need to get out of here. You need to go explore the world. And my pops would tell me that. He would always tell me, hey, man, you feel like you need to go do this? Go do that. Go do this. I'm going to be all right. And even to the time he was sick, man, and he could have, even when the time he was sick, he could have, and I called him. And this is what I tell you about what you should, being a protector, being a parent. You know, he was sick. I said, man, are you okay? I said, man, if you wasn't all right, would you tell me? And he said, yeah, I would tell you. He was dying. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't dying right then, but he was sick, and he didn't want to tell me. He was trying to protect me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come over there. No, it's during COVID. You know, no, don't come over here. I don't want you to catch what I got. He wasn't even concerned about trying to get well or go to the hospital. He didn't want to go. He was like, I'm strong. I'm good, and he always been that way. He would always be strong. I never saw no weakness. I never saw. As I said, these are the moments that you get emotional, but I never saw any weakness in him. So let me get it together. But anyway, my pops, man, my moms, So as I said, throughout this process is so hard, that it occurred, and she made it hard. So as I said, that one thing that he told me to do, I said throughout my life, I said that's how she's been throughout my life, and it's gotten worse every year. It's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And as I said, she's been that way. And as I said, I'm a type of person where I'm not a person to hold grudges. I've talked to women multiple times in my life. And they were smart enough to figure it out. One chick I used to mess with for a long time, and she figured it out that I didn't hold grudges. So she would do something bogus to me, and she would just give me my space. She'd come back 6 months, 7 months later, and I wouldn't really, like, crazy part is I wouldn't remember what she did. That's how I am. I don't hold grudges. Like, I'll be mad for a certain amount of time, and I just let it go. Because I'm like, that energy is going to consume you. Another jewel, don't hold on to things. That's why I say you got to forgive people, because that energy will consume you. It will cause physical things going on in your body that you don't understand because you're holding on to this grudge. And, the thing that caught me that was, I had a falling out with my father in my early 20s, and I didn't talk to him for a long period of time. And as I said, just doing soul searching and understanding, I was having panic attacks. This whole situation showed me something. I was having panic attacks, panic. And every time I learned that, it's not my nature to hold grudges. It's not in my, every time I'll hold a grudge against somebody, something bad happened to me. So it was crazy. So I learned that you can't hold, things make you angry over time, but you have to eventually, that energy is not meant to be bottled up. And I don't like you. You can't hold that. You gotta let that go. Let that roll off. Bless those who persecute you and misuse you. You know what I'm saying? Because God, they got theirs coming. It's coming. It's the laws of the universe. You can't do bad to people and expect good things to happen. That's just what happens. So you gotta let them go. You know, the book say, you know, the enemy will be a footstool, and that's true. They gonna need you again. They do bad to you, they gonna need you. So as I said, I learned how to let that stuff go, and as I said, I would always let things go. You know what I'm saying? And you know, these women would take advantage. They, you know, hey, they called me like nothing never happened, and I would just be like, hey, like, yeah, you always, in my mind, I always look for the good. So I always remember the good. I put the bad out of my mind. I remember the good, you know, and this is no different. But so I've been doing this for years with my mother. You know what I'm saying? So you know she's been like you. It'll be a beautiful day, and I'm a morning person. You know, I always remember mornings are new beginnings. You wake up grateful, like this is a new beginning. I made it. God let me wake up. You know, thank you. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be a beautiful day, just beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? And we have the stigma with parents. You know, where we like I said, my pop, it was with him, it would be a beautiful day. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, Pops, let's go shoot some pool, man. Let's go. And he was the same way. He loved morning. He's a morning person. He'd get up 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and be up. Like you call me after 2 o'clock, you can call. 2 o'clock a.m. Like, yeah, I be up. Sometimes I get up because he go to sleep, take naps. So he would get up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and be up. You know what I'm saying? So I said I'm not a morning per se to get up to do things, but I love getting up in the morning, getting up early, meditating. You know what I'm saying? Just having quiet time, enjoying the sun going up, the morning being the day being new. You know, there's so many endless possibilities of what's going to happen in the day. So that's how I look at it. So when you wake up on a beautiful day, first thing you say is, man, it's a beautiful day. You know, you want to seek out other beautiful things and love and happiness and family. So one of the things I would always do, I would call my mother. And it's like I said, over time, like I would let go. I've been, like I said, did this for years. You know, like, you know, she would do things and say things and be negative every time. And I realized, you know, like I said, narcissists, they can't help it. And, you know, it's more and more they embedded into their brain. This is who they are. So I would be like, I forget about what's going on. It'd be like a beautiful Sunday or Saturday. And I'd be like, hey, you know, Mom, let me come over there. You know, and it will always start, well, if you want to, if I want to, like I just said, I was coming over there. You know, it's like little things like that. You know it's about to be all the way bad when you start. If you want to come, but you ain't got to. I'm telling you, I miss you. You know, and I've never had a problem telling people I love them, and you know, and showing emotion and different things like that. But if I tell you I love you, you know, I miss you. You know, I want to see you. I want to, you know, enjoy the day. It's so beautiful out. Like let's sit and talk about lovely things. You know what I'm saying? The bad don't need no help. You know what I'm saying? But she would always this, that, and the other. Then she go in, you know, you talk to her. Well, how you doing? Well, I'm all right. I had to go and get this. You know, you ever talk to some old people, and it's all they do is they want to talk to you about what's hurting them, what's bad for them, and what the doctor said, and somebody got shot, and, you know, like, why? You can't help none of them situations. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of person she would be. And you be happy, you be in your mood. It almost was like it hurt her to see you happy. So she would be like, you know, she would start in on something, you know, or you know, something she asked you to do. And by the way, every time I would go see my mother, I would bring her food. You know what I'm saying? I would, you know, she never would cook for me. She never would, you know, get me anything, or, you know, it would be a rare occasion where or she would be cooking something for herself and she would offer you some. But it would never be like, hey, I'm going to cook something, you know, what you want to eat. You know, she would always make it. I said, Mom, why you never cook when I come over? Like most parents, they cook. And I'm going to go back to this comparison, which is crazy. My dad would cook every time. Every time. Every time I come over, what you want to eat? Dad, man, I'll cook that, man. You cook for me every time. Don't worry about it. I got it. I'm your daddy. That's what he would tell me. I'm your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a pleasure. being, you know what I'm saying, make me feel like a little kid. And he would do that for all his kids, not just me. And it was 5 of us, 4 of us. I gotta count sometimes. But he would do that for all his children. There's something you can do to make your kids feel special. That you can't, they growing up, they take care of themselves. They don't need you to baby them and do things. You come over, you can at least feed your children. Even when we would go out to restaurants, I'd be like, Pops, I got it. I got it, man. You got me. Don't worry about that. Your father got that. I'm y'all daddy. Don't worry about that. I'm always gonna make sure you eat. That's something he would do. And we would just be like, people would be jealous of like, man, you come over, your daddy cook. He cook. Not only do he cook, the dude would fix your plate. He cook, make you a plate, and bring it to you. Like we was little kids. Like we was little kids. We little kids sitting at the table. He cook, make our plate, bring it to it. Here you go. We feel so special. You know what I'm saying? Our daddy cook for us. Nigga he come from work. A lot of days he would come from work for me. He worked nights sometimes, and he worked nights to stay away from my mama. But he would work nights, come home. I'm like, I gotta go to school. He get up, you hear him in the kitchen. He knew, like, he didn't ask me, hey man, you eating? He come home, he come in the kitchen and make breakfast. Hey, Daddy, what you cooking? I'm making some of this. Hurry up, come in and get something to eat before you go to school. This is what this dude would do. Not, you know what I'm saying? But it's the little things. It's the little things. But back to what I was saying. Like I said, I'm trying not to get emotional. But it's the little things that happen in your life that you appreciate. But she would never do those things. And over time, it builds up. It builds up over time, and you just become numb to it, And like I said, I was a child. I was a last born, and for her to treat me the way she treat me, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't get it, and it's like sometimes when you get older, you get wiser, and you understand things, and coming full circle. As I said, coming full circle, and I said I'm not gonna go off into I told you this is gonna be a rant video. Coming full circle, I realized that she say this all the time. I'm not gonna change. I am who I am. I'm not gonna change. I'm too old to change. So you gotta realize at some point your life means something. Her life is not greater than my life. I have to love me more than I love anybody else. And I get this. This is what I asked. I asked one time, I said, she's arguing and fussing every single time I see her. Argue, fuss. Every time. There's nothing. And it's always your fault. They always play the victim. They get you riled up and then they act like they're the victim. So we would get to a point where I said one time, listen, if I died today, what would you do? And I said that for a specific reason. She said, what's wrong? First thing you do, I said, go negatively. What's wrong? Is anything wrong? If there's anything wrong, you need to tell me. Ain't nothing wrong. It's something wrong, but it's sad that you don't see it. And I'm trying to explain to her who I am and who she is and what she's doing is not healthy. And I try to get her to understand that. And she said I'll probably cry, and then I would just get over it, just like that. No, I don't know what I would, like most people, I don't know what I would do. Let's not talk like that. Most people, let's not talk like that. I can't imagine. I don't want to think about that. There's things you want her to say, but it was just like you going to the bathroom. I'd probably cry. Then I would just move on. Leeches do that. you know, and it's concerning in my brain, and it just made me look at her like, But as I said, leeches do that. You know, when they're attached to a host, they're gonna suck whatever they can out of the host. When that host die, they gonna crawl away, go to somebody else, latch on, feed. Because the first law of nature is self-preservation in their mind. So your life, no matter how jacked up it is, as long as you are there to support what they want, fine. Everything is fine. Crazy. So that started to make me think about certain things in that aspect. And then, like I said, I was kind of distancing myself already. You know what I'm saying? I would go see her. I would think of when I think of my mother, I would always think of my mother as a child. She wasn't my mother from the age of 15, probably to now. Like, I don't remember any love being shown to me. I don't remember, trying to come see me. I don't remember trying to do anything that a mother would do, for their children that I see other parents doing for their kids as adults. You know what I'm saying? Most parents, most mothers, I see, my friends, their mothers, they try to come over to their house, try to clean up their house, try to do their laundry and stuff. Like stuff that your mother would do. Let me come over there. Let me come over and make you something to eat. Let me come cook. Come over here and do this, and the other. Come spend time. Let's go do something. Let's you want to spend time with your kids. You make your kids, like, especially as a mother, you make your kids feel like they little kids. It's just your mama. And a lot of people can't grasp this in my mind, and I say, my mother's gone, man. Like, she's here. It sounds crazy. She's here, but she's not. Like, if you think about it, I got 20 plus years. Like 27 years of dumping, negativity, pushing. I'm coming, she pushing. So over time, as you get older, you get stronger. Your emotions, get different. You change. You grow. And you realize. When I tell my friends, they can't fathom that because their mother is not like that. So they like losing my mother. Like that's your mom. We have this, like I said, this culture. That's your mother. But most people in that culture, their mother is like their protector. Their mother is their safe haven. Their mother is the person they can go talk to and get hugs from and love from. I'm the one giving the love and getting nothing. I'm the person that was doing all this stuff for my mother. She has, two other kids. And she would give, no shade to my brother and sister, but, they would do their things, but I personally did more. I'm the person that she would call when something happened. I'm the person I'm here. My brother he lives in a different state. So I'm the person she would call when stuff would happen. One time, and I'm gonna keep this short. One time, it was during Christmas time. My brother, he would come here every Christmas. He was in the city. He here. He wanna hang out and have fun and whatever. Now, like I said, he's older than me. I'm the youngest. So, and by the way, narcissists always make difference out of their children. He was the golden child. He's the golden child. To us, we just pardon my French, but me and my sister, we're just bullshit. We ain't nobody compared to him. And I would tell him, and I don't mean no shade to him. It's not his fault. But I would always tell him, like, you her son. I'm not. I'm a fill-in for her husband. You know what I'm saying? That's all I am. That's how she thinks. She thinks I'm an extension of my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, she can always take from me. She don't give me nothing. Now, I said, all these years, like, my brother comes for holidays, she break out, I'm a cook some. He come in from out of town. I gotta make sure my baby have a meal. I'm like, I'm here all the time. I come see you all the time. You can't cook nothing for me. This is what I'm thinking in my brain, but I'm not jealous. But I'm like trying to understand it. And at one point, it did really bother me. And I said, man, I do all this stuff for this lady, holidays and Christmas. If he ain't coming, she ain't cooking nothing. Like, I have to go and get a rotisserie chicken from Jewel or something, or cook some seafood. I have to come to the house and cook food. This is your mom. This is your mother. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to go spend time with them on holidays. They're supposed to cook. This is our culture. We're supposed to go. Most people, I'm going to my mama's house and get a plate. Mama cooking, woo woo. It's the holidays. Ain't your mama cooking something? People think that your mother's still here. That's just in their minds. Your mother's still around. Like, you like, yeah. If she cooking something, I would go to my mom, and it's so crazy. That's why I try to tell you, God show you things. I got a friend, one of my brothers. I call him my brother. His mom's birthday was on the same day. Birthday's the same day. You know what I'm saying? The same day, and that's like, she was my second mother. She like, your mother ain't cooking, Ron. You can always join us for dinner. She invite me over. I would go to their house for holidays and different things. She still do this to this day. Hey, we having something for Christmas. Come over here. Come over and get something to eat. And he would call it. My mom said, she would, like I said, she got grown kids. And a busy woman, work and everything. Older than my mother. She make time on holidays for her and her family, cook, do things with them, and various, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing this, I'm saying, her birthday is the same day as my mother. They both, like, what the? Like, why can my mother do this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, having a discussion with her like that. I said, narcissistic people. They make excuses. They victims. I'm done cooking. I don't do all that. But when he come, when I say something, it's an argument. When he say something, she listen. I said, wow. You know what I mean? But those are the things that I had to cope with, and eventually I made peace with. I said, okay, you can't let this lady kill you. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I was already struggling, with just peer pressure. And when I say peer pressure, I mean, like, people tell you shouldn't do certain things, like you shouldn't treat your mother this way because she's your mother. You got to, you don't want the days to cut short, and you don't want this, that, and the other. But the book also say that you shouldn't provoke your children. And I sit and I say, what have I done to this lady? What have I done? And the answer is nothing. I feel like of course, narcissistic people make you feel guilty about stuff. But I literally done nothing to this lady. Over the years, yes, you can't dump on a person for so long and expect them not to say nothing. Now, I can't say, I'm not a church mouse. I don't sit and take abuse and don't dish out, nothing. You can't talk to me a certain kind of way as a man. I'm a man first before I'm a child or anything else. You can't talk to me in certain type of ways and expect not to get anything back. And I have as an adult. You're not going to talk to me in a certain kind of way. You're not finna do, I don't care if you're my mother or not. You're not going to just tell me that I'm not shit and I'm just supposed to take that. And I know I'm a good man, and I know I do things for you, and I'm the best son I can be. You know what I'm saying? Other kids don't do nothing for they parents. And I'm over here doing everything that happened. I'm making stuff, easy for you. And you never try to make anything easy for me. You know what I'm saying? So, as I said, I'm not angry about that anymore. But what I'm angry about, and I say, it's not necessarily an anger point, but it's you get to a certain point. Maybe I use the wrong verbiage. And there is some still resentment there. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with myself in regards to the way I was treated, because I feel like I wasted a lot of time. I feel like I wasted a lot of time. It's crazy to feel that way, but I feel like I wasted a lot of time, trying to be in a relationship with my mom, and she not trying to be in a relationship with you. She want, that's all you know is chaos and turmoil. And I'm like, life, and I started this video saying, my mother, I'm not talking to my mother anymore. My father leaving here made me realize something. It clicked in my brain. It made me realize that. Life is a fragile thing. You know what I'm saying? Life is funny and it's fragile. You look around and we so blessed. We're so blessed. You literally have the choice to do and be whoever you want to be. God came down here to live through you. He came. You have a soul. You're. Like I said, you're a creator. You're here. You create things in your life. Your life can be a certain kind of way. People say all the time, life is short. You know, you gotta live. You can't live your life in a box. I've wasted so much time trying to make a relationship work that ain't working. That's toxic. You know, that's just because I'm your son, you know what I'm saying, don't mean that I have to be here. You know, it doesn't mean that I have to be here, especially when you don't appreciate things. Sometimes when things are taken away from you, you appreciate them more. And I appreciate my pops more because he was taken away. I appreciate it while he was here. That's why I don't feel it, sir. But he was here. We had a good run, you know, of happy times, and there's so many memories I can draw upon. I can't say that with my mother. I can't. I can only go back to stuff when I was a kid. I can't draw upon adult. You doing something so long, so what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be here and just be miserable? Like, every aspect of my life is good. It's good. I can mold and mend every part of my life and keep my energy a certain way. But I'm going to choose to go over here with you and allow you to draw my life. You see these? See this? That's all a result of stress from over there. I'm not I mean, some people grade early. I grade early. I grade a little bit too early. Like I said, I'm like, when is it gonna be your turn? When is it gonna be your time? You have to you can't live your life for other people. You have to go and you gotta go live your life, man. I'm 42. I have no kids. I have no wife. You know what I'm saying? And at one point in my life, I took an account, and it's crazy, and I don't believe I'm finna say this out loud, but when I was in my 20s, you know, I wanted those things. You know what I'm saying? But I was always in the back of my mind, I always used to think, I need to make sure she gonna be all right. I need to make sure I'm trying to take responsibility for a 70-year-old woman who don't give a damn about me, who don't give a damn about my well-being and things that she's putting me through. That I'm saying, you're hurting me, and you don't give a damn about that. You don't give a damn about my happiness thing. I have to make sacrifice. I had to make sacrifices early on to make sure she was okay. Remember I told you, paying half her rent, paying, you know, doing this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? When I should have been focusing on going out, meeting somebody, finding a wife. I had relationships, but it was all hand-picked, short-term situations where I was focusing on being able to take care of my family and her, and I couldn't do it. It was a split, and that type of burden should not be put on any child. And not that I'm not blaming her for that. It's a resentment that I have, you know, in my heart because of, you know, but it was my fault because I feel like I should have got this early on. I should have got this about 10, maybe 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I should have got this. And my brother figured it out a long time ago. He figured it out. He went off. He left. And that's a reason why he don't live here. And I realized that, later on. But there's a reason why he didn't move back to Chicago. He went to the service. He had to get away. He had to go live his life and explore and do things. You know what I'm saying? While I'm here dealing with all this. You know what I'm saying? He had to be selfish on his end because he had to do what he had to do for his life. And that's what I should have did. Because God, at the end of the day, you give things to God, you have to give it to God. You have to give her and whoever else to God. You have to understand, these people, if you weren't born, what would they be doing if you weren't here? But as I said, she programmed me to think that it was my duty to make sure she was okay as her child. That's what she programmed me for, which was wrong. It was wrong programming, but as I said, it was my responsibility to learn it, and I didn't learn it. So I can only take the blame for that myself. I'm not blaming her for it. She did what narcissistic people do, but she still has a lot of the blame in regards to doing that type of stuff. But I can't turn back the clock. Can't turn back the clock. Can't control what happened and what was and what is. I can only forgive the situation, forgive it, and say, okay, what can I do here? So I say all that to try to give you a little bit of insight into my brain and how I think. So when I say I don't talk to my mother anymore, to me, it's a waste of time. If you got a person who's like over here saying, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you no matter what. I don't care how you come at me. I'm going to kill you. So I'm like, okay, listen, why you got to kill me? Why you can't just love me and we can just live together? I'm not built like that. I'm going to kill you. Okay, but I love you. Like, I want to be, I want to be a better person. I want you to come with me. I want to, live a happy life and be happy as a family. I'm going to kill you. I don't care. I'm going to kill you. But why? I'm your son. Like, why would you want to kill me? I don't know. I'm just like this. I ain't going to change. I'm going to kill you. This is what I hear. This is what I feel. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to stress you out. I'm going to put a burden on you that is not yours. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to stress you out. I'm going to fuss and argue with you all the time. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm not going to give you nothing. And you got to deal with it because I'm your mother. I respectfully disagree and decline. God gives you a life. He gives you a life. And it's laughable because God gives you a life, man. He's been telling me my whole life, son, I chose her for you to be here, but you still belong to me. Son, I need you to live your life. I love her too. I'm going to take care of her. I'm going to make sure she's fine. Go live your life, son. It's not your responsibility. It is your responsibility. It is. You're supposed to. It's not. Who's bigger, me or her? Who's bigger, me or her? Your whole life I've been taking care of you. Your whole life when she said you couldn't do something, you went out and did it and I blessed it. Your whole life, whenever you fell, who picked you up? Even when you fall, you still fell on soft ground. Who did that? You, me, I did that. Who cares for you more? Her or you? Who? Look at what I show you. Look at what I give you. I wake you up every day. I wake you up every day. I allow you to be prosperous. I put you in a room with people who can make your life better. I put people in your life to show you that you're worth life. Who are you going to listen to? Her or me? Choice is obvious, isn't it? Although I love her, the love I have for me and him is greater. is greater. It's sad. It's sad, and I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you like the anger part. The anger part that goes away, because I said I'm not built that way. He built me to forgive. He built me to be easily forgive and not hold grudges. So I'm made this way for a reason. So I forgive her. Don't get me wrong, I forgive her. You know, and any part of me that does not forgive her, I'm working on it, and my body is leaving it. But I forgive her. But I gotta leave her over there. I gotta love her from a distance. You know, I wish I had a happiness in my mind, in my world. I feel like we can coexist. You over there, and me over here. My life over here is gonna be positive. The negative stuff is always gonna happen. There's always gonna be a yin and a yang. But the positive stuff is always gonna be here. It's always gonna be here. It's a light inside me that I gotta shine. I gotta push. You can't when somebody grabbing you and holding on you and pulling you, you gotta get them up off you, man. Well, Big Chris said, you gotta keep the devil off me. Keep the devil off me. Don't worry about them snakes. you gotta shake it'll come in different forms. Her demons, she gotta deal with her demons. You don't owe nobody your life. You don't owe nobody your life. And if they drain it on your life force, you gotta love you enough to go and restore yourself. Be respectful. But my respect is I cut the cord. I cut the cord. Cut the cord. And as I said, the straw that broke the camel's back. As I said, I started the story. I didn't finish it because I ran it. But the straw that broke the camel's back. As I said, the thing that my father told me to do. She took my money. She stole from me again. You know, the money that he left, that was his energy, that he made. She took our money. She took it. And it's not about the money. It wasn't about the money. It was about the ability to do things the way he wanted me to. Now, as a man, as a good person, he told me she wasn't supposed to have none of his stuff. He said she gonna be all right. Take my stuff and split it up between y'all. We his heirs. We his children. We what he worked for. He worked to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? And he always told us, now you need money, you need something. That's what I'm here for. I'm your father. Now, as I said, I don't need the money. I didn't need it. Didn't need it. As I told you, I came out of my pockets to pay for his funeral. Me and my brother, we came out of our pocket. You know, $4,300 that I had to pay, he paid the other one. I could have paid for the whole thing myself. But I came out of my pocket to pay for that. My brother came out of his pocket to pay for that. And I told her what he told me. But as I said, I'm fair. I understand that who she is and how narcissistic she is, and like I said, she's selfish and won't money hungry, and she don't stop to think all her whole life she struggled for money. Why she struggled for it? Your whole life you struggle for money, and you don't know why you don't keep it. Why you don't keep a nickel? Why you always broke? Why you ain't got nothing? Why don't you have anything? Because you're selfish and stuff. You take. When you take, nothing can come in. So you keep on taking. You keep surviving. You keep surviving and not thriving your whole life. That's what you want to do. That's fine. Because as I said, what I gave, God always gives back to me. It's crazy. Crazy principle in life of giving and receiving. When you give, it always comes back to you 10 times. 10 times it's going to come back to you. So I release it all. I said, I cut the cord. So this lady, this is what she did. Because she was, use a legal loophole. Now, as I said, I told her, I said, listen, he had basically 5 heirs. Five of his kids that was here. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? We're gonna split it 6 ways. Whatever he had in his account, we're gonna split it. We gonna take it. As I said, we all loved him. I'm not gonna take all his money and then just split it up between me and all my 4 siblings. I'm gonna take his money and split it up between you and then us 5. 6 ways, evenly. Everything he had, let's just split it all up evenly, 6 ways. You feel a certain kind of way, you feel like you deserve his stuff because you was his wife, whatever. Okay. I just want us all to be fair and share equally. This is when my father was not a selfish person. He wanted to share everything. So I said it will only be right to share everything he has equally amongst his living surviving heirs, and we're his children. We deserve just as bit as you deserve, and you don't deserve nothing because he should have divorced you, but he didn't. He did that to make sure you was okay. You know what I'm saying? So not only is she receiving his death benefit, she decided that I'm gonna keep his money. Yeah. She told me I'm gonna give you the money back that you spent for your funeral, and I'm gonna give you what I think you should have, but I gotta live too. That's what she told me. It hurt me. It hurt my heart because we talked about it beforehand. I said, not that she a snake. Low down snake person. As a man, just separating son from man. Me as a man, I don't deal with people like that. That character is strong in me. I don't steal. I ain't killing. I ain't double-crossing nobody for the energy out there that God says I can have. He said, this is yours, son. Ask and you shall receive. You don't got to steal nothing from nobody. You don't have to steal nothing from nobody. I'm going to give to you what it is that I think you should have. So her telling me that, like, I'm a keep majority of the money. She said he came to me in a dream and told me to keep. Real convenient. But I already asked you. I said, do you have a problem with me doing this? This lady went to the bank and put a hold. Like I told you, I had access to all my dad's stuff. I had a debit card. Me personally, I had a debit card. I had the pen. I could have been taking money out the bank the whole time. Didn't want to do it that way. I said, you know what? I'm going to let you go to the bank and I'm going to let you draw it all out at once. And I want you to separate it. Separately between all of us. Do you have a problem with that? She said, no, I have a problem with that. I guess not. That's what she told me. So that's okay. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. And I told my brother, I said, Dre, I know who she is. This is a test for her. This is a test. I said, during our time of grieving, during our time when we lost somebody, it was about, even if we didn't have a quarter, even if it was $500, we would have to separate. I said, during our time of grievance, we lost somebody. And all I'm trying to do is evenly separate all his stuff and have everybody have it. We all share equally. I said, bro, like I said, typically I was going to take legal action, you know what I'm saying, and have a lawyer do whatever. But I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to leave it to you the one time. The one time to be here for your children. You got one time. I only can lose my father once. You ain't been here for me this whole time. You ain't been here for none of us this whole time. Can you just one time do what he asked? Do what I'm telling you to do. And you know what she said? I don't know he said that. Again, you striking against a man. You strike not your son, you striking against a man. You calling me a liar? You know what I mean? Scarface about to kill a nigga. You calling me a liar? That's what you saying, Frank? That you calling me a liar? That's not what. That's not. I don't know if he said that or not. Okay. So you raised a liar. You raised me to lie. I ain't never lied to you. I ain't never stole from you. I always gave to you. I always gave to you. I always helped you. I always came out of my pockets and gave you my energy. Gave. Not lend. Gave. You ain't gave me a quarterback from all the money I done gave you from years. This is thousands of dollars. At the very least, I paid half your rent I paid half your rent for 3 years. For 3 years, I paid half your rent. So, if I'm paying you half your rent, that's the tip of the iceberg of how much money I done spent trying to make sure you was okay. This is my money. This money I could have had somewhere's wrong in interest somewhere. That's gone. It's energy that I said, here, you're my mother. I don't want you to struggle. I don't want you to be in a tight spot. But the one thing that my father, the one thing that he said, you know, that I'm clear about and I talked to him about, and he said this is what he want us to do. And my pops always say to me, he tell you to do something. And I say, but, hey, what I just say? That was it. It was nothing else. Ain't no but, nothing. It was either ass whooping or what I just tell you to do. That's what it was. So, this is the one last thing I could have did. I could have did what I tell you to do. And she took that. She took it from me. She took it. She took it. So I'm going to say this on my videos. The good die young. I'm going to leave it with that. The good die young. So I'm done. I'm done, man. I forgive her. As I said, I'm not going to hold no grudges. I'm trying to get over the resentment. I'm trying to heal from stuff. So in order for me to do that, I can't, if I'm gonna ever, heal from being burned, I gotta get out the fire. That's the fire. I gotta remove her from my life. As I said, I wish her the best. Financially, is one of the worries I had, with her is financial. She stole my money. So as I said, I told her, you can keep it. You can keep it all. That's fine. If you want to keep it, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. I ain't hurting again. Once again, don't worry about it. I'll give it back to you. I'll give you 10 times that. Don't worry about it. Remember in the book of Job when he told, cuss your God. Curse him because he took all this from you. Job be like, nah, nope. I don't know what he's doing, but don't worry about it. Curse your God, the devil. Curse your God. Because, he took all this, he let me burn all this, God knew who he made. He sat there and said, okay, you took all that. You took it. Did you burn all the sheep? You took it all. Fool. Fool. I own all of this. Those are just things. You burned him. I own all of these. I got all of this. Do you understand I gave him all of that? Do you understand I got all that millions and million times more? Job, hey man, he took 10 sheep from you. Here go 100. Hey, he burned you. Let me heal you. Hey, he scorched your land. Here go your land, 100 other acres. Job was like, thank you. Appreciate it. Fool. I'm not stupid. I know where my stuff come from. I know where it come from, stupid. Don't test. Why you think I'm finna test him? What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Just don't kill me. That's all I ask you not to do. Don't kill me. Watch him restore me. It happens. He gonna put you at a point to see, okay, does this person deserve what I'm giving him? And every time, you just understand every time, any situation that you're in, God always deliver you from it. He always deliver you from it. So I feel like this is the test. You know, in my mind, this is the test. If you can't take this little money that he gave you and separate it amongst his kids, it's the test. You lose. You lose me. You lose out on a person who had your back, who would do anything for you, who would make sure go up above and beyond to make sure you was okay. Now you on your own. Now you're on your own, which is, as I said, you should be dependent on God anyway. So that's fine. You got God, you know about God. So I'm gonna turn this direction. I'm for all people who don't understand, and this is a long rant, but I felt like I had to get it out. I had to explain it. I had to explain it. And as I said, if anything should ever happen to me, I just want y'all to. This is video proof. If anything ever happens to me, I want my siblings. I want my siblings to split everything equally. You could take this as a video. I take that back. I want my siblings, and when I say my siblings, that includes Assad Bea, that includes Mark Whitley, that includes Reuben Stevens. That's what that includes. Those are my siblings. Those are my extended siblings. But Sharonda Taylor, Andre Taylor, Stephen Miller, Gregory Early, those are my siblings. Take my energy and separate them. Take everything I have and separate it. This, at the time of this video, I have no kids. So as I said, and I'm not saying anything, I want anything to happen to me soon, but I want to take all of my energy and separate them amongst my siblings. With honorable, actually, and add in there David Taylor and Denise Taylor as well. Denise Williams, which is my aunt and my cousin. So as I said, just take all of my stuff and divide it equally amongst all those people. That's it. If I left out anybody, those are the ones. Those are my siblings, my cousins. You know what I'm saying? My people. So as I said, just take my stuff and divide them amongst those people, and we good to go. So as I said, if anybody else outlive me, you know what I'm saying, if I outlive them, pass it along to their children or whatever, but that's what it is. But again, just wanted to get that off my chest. Hopefully it'll help. The jewels I left in this video will help, you know, people. If you thought about sitting down and looking at this video for a long time, it's probably my family who probably watched this video. Just wanted to get that off my chest and get y'all to understand why I stopped talking to that lady. And as I said, I wish her the best. I really do. I wish, you know, God bless her. And, you know, I pray to God have mercy on her, you know what I'm saying, in her days to come. You know, but it is what it is. She gotta fend for herself. She gotta pretend she only has one child, you know, because my sister doesn't really talk to her either, you know, so she has to pretend that she has one child and reach out to that person, you know, to reach out to my brother. Hopefully, you know, he does what he needs to do, because I need to move on with my life, and I have to, you know, start living for myself, start worrying about, you know, me, and not letting negative energy hold me back from my goals and my dreams, things that I want to accomplish. So here we go. It's the beginning of the marathon. What Nipsey say? The marathon continues. I'm out. Peace.